Currumbin Waters House is a reconfiguration and slight addition to a 1984 GJ Gardner display home. We hadn't really worked in amongst suburban Gold Coast before, so it was a really new opportunity for us as a practice to engage with this really different form of suburbia than perhaps Brisbane is. It was a really fun architectural challenge for us, but we saw it as an opportunity to engage with a housing typology which is really prevalent on the Gold Coast. How these projects always start is what you take away. With some editing, you can make it breathe and you can open up avenues through the house and connect it to the garden in a meaningful way. It was one of 4 buildings accessed off a central driveway, which we saw as kind of a laneway condition. It's a really oddly shaped block, so one of the main moves we had was to take the car access away from that shared driveway, turn the garage into a kitchen and bring the entry round off the cul-de-sac. There were privacy issues, so we set up a whole new set of entry thresholds for visitors. Our additions, particularly to the west, are using the simplest elements from suburbia. It's a nicely designed fence. It has multiple roles. It manages the privacy, particularly to cars, but then also allows that they can actually enjoy that neighbourly west-facing courtyard. From the outset, we had an attitude towards the brickwork that we didn't want to cover it up. We wanted to change it from being just an applied veneer surface to being this sort of 3-dimensional sculptural thing. So you can read where the remnants of the existing building are. Our approach was to be as light touch with the original house as we could be. The new structures are all external. We're effectively sort of moving the sense of enclosure further towards the boundary, so you get a sense of spatial generosity. You're experiencing the external spaces as though they're part of the internal spaces. The most obvious new piece is the outdoor room, which feels quite sculptural, but the way you experience it is mainly from the interior of the project. It's much more about meaningful connection to the outside. We pulled out the laundry from inside the house, and that allowed us to instate a north-south axis so the breezes can filter through the house. The interiors are really stripped. The one little extravagance was the kitchen bench top, which we built out of some of the demolished bricks. 5-mile radius, smashed them up and built it out of excess concrete pour. So it's a really nice memory of the building. Over time, the garden's going to be more noticeable than the architecture of this place. The guys up at Griffith on the Gold Coast had put together an app. You type in a postcode and they find the endemic species of that region and also where you can get them, and so we used that to source plants. We sort of saw it as reinstating that landscape, you know, it's the sort of swamp landscape from around here. Imagine if everyone took this attitude to the landscape around these houses, you know, how different the suburb would feel. Have some very happy parrots.